Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, just as a wonderful individual. Today, I would like to speak about sitting with yourself in the silence. When you sit with yourself, observing, sensing, just feeling everything that comes from within the silence. Either it be you, either it be maybe an automatic thought stream, or maybe an intense feeling of discomfort, or maybe you want to move. Despite all of these, when you sit still with your body, with your whole being, you are training your will. Because you want yourself to sit still despite all of the sensations. When you can do this, you can, while experiencing these sensations, observe them and register, assimilate them as experiences. By doing so, you fill your soul, your being in a sense. And the more you fill, experience, study this existence of ours, the more we do so, the more we fill up, deepening and widening our own being. So the more diverse experiences we have, and the funny part about it is you can experience 1,000,000 experiences just in a day if you actually were looking for them. That is what I have come to a conclusion about, at least. So if I are, let's say, in a very studious mood one day, I can use my whole day to study, reflect, contemplate, and by having done so for a whole day, you truly already feel the difference. It is about seeing your change from moment to moment. Of course, you can't sit still 24/7 constantly, but it is worth training being able to stop and to be silent anytime, anywhere. Having that inner willpower and strength to be able to stop up, observe and sense in the moment if need be. Of course, we do enjoy ourselves and we do sit in the silence to be a little more serious when it is needed. Taking as an example, if you have, as I said earlier, intense emotions and thoughts that follows it, or you have intense thought, you have a very hefty thought process and your emotions follows it, hence your will also follows it. You heal it over time when you sit with this intense feeling. Of course, you can't sit observing it and then you feed it with, I'm so annoyed and all about this and all about that and but. No, it is about sitting still in it and feel its duration. Because it will disappear. There is no emotion that lasts forever unless we give it fuel. And that is more often than not what we do. By you sitting still and mastering, become acquainted with and get to know your inner being. Here and now. Your breath coming in and out, feeling your chest. And sense. Of course, you don't sit in the breath alone. You sit in your whole being, sensing everything that is occurring at the same time, in a sense. So whatever might be different from what you normally experience, you register. Because everything that is different changes you to a certain extent. Because if you, let's say 10 days in a row, you did the same thing, nothing new comes in other than maybe certain experiences that was given from the outside. Of course, we can still choose to close ourselves off to that, but you will have not grown one tiny millimeter. But by you having sitting with yourself for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just once a week, really. Of course, that is too little if you are to master yourself. But let's say 5 to 10 minutes every day. You use these 10 minutes, you change your disposition to a certain degree. It is about how you want to create your future and your future personality. So you cultivate. It is kind of like growing a garden. You want to see that color, and you want to see those shapes, and you want to see those radiant, outshining and outpouring of beauty. And if we believe that we are stuck as who we are, which is an illusion all by itself, since we have come from a state of becoming, do you think we stop becoming? No, we don't. Not in any age. Not in any age. Once you sit with yourself, with your ego, with your center sun, with your observation, you change your inner disposition. Because when you sit observing yourself, if an evil impulse comes up and you register it, you will think, oh, what? Of course, that won't happen, because seriously, either you know you do immoral things now and then, or you don't do immoral things, because you can't do immoral things unconsciously without a choice. You will have to follow a certain stream of actions to come to that place. And, well, by upholding your silence, your values coming out from your inner soul, you will, grow. It is, as I said, your sun is shining on your garden. You are nourishing it, and you are caring for it, being gentle with it. And you do it with any human being, including yourself. It is about having a space open. Of course, you choose when you want to have this space open, because when you open that space, you are completely vulnerable. So it is important to know if you can trust the person or not. And that you quickly find out about by listening what comes out of the soul, their values, and what they normally speak about. Do they complain? Do they only criticize the system? Do they read the paper and then rant for 20 minutes about it? Or do they truly sit here and try to be creative, trying to find reverence and gratitude for the earth, for what's beautiful, for what's good, for what's, dignified? Or should we let ourselves go by just ranting and ripping? What do you think is the most healthy to do? Feeding yourself gratitude, reverence, and a certain hope, faith, love, hope for the future and for all of mankind? Or have you already given up and said, we are going to shits? What do you think is the most healthy one? What do yourselves say to yourself? It is, of course, the gratitude. It is a known fact that Emoto, one scientist that was flash freezing water and so on, through prayers and meditation around that water, the water was flash freezing in different shapes based on the prayers that was directly focused towards the water. So gratitude, love, and I love you, and beautiful, and so on, were beautiful, symmetrical, wonderfully made stars that you just felt the beauty in it. And if you have I hate you, you disgust me, and the water become like brownish and it has no shape, it is just shapeless. So that we have such a wonderful shape ourselves indicate already a certain harmony. Or else we would look like monsters, believe me. So think about, the more you feed with your thoughts, your words, your language, your everyday immersion and focus every day is what you affect your whole watery body and your whole physical. It is like eating, as I say. You feed your spiritual soul by giving it the right thing to focus on. So that is the silence, and from the silence often, as I said, comes discomfort, comes pain, comes things we don't want to acknowledge, but it has to be acknowledged. It's part of us. It will never disappear. And unless you truly take it forth, observe it, getting to know it, sitting with it in strength, with compassion and love, not in hatred, not in shame, not in indignified lashing out, but truly in, I sit with you. You are part of me, and I wish for you to heal with me. I include you in my endeavors as best as I can, and I take you into consideration in my endeavors, in my aspirations, so that I don't destroy myself, because we all have our weaknesses, and we shouldn't go around trying to be climbing fishes when we are human beings. So that is why sitting silent with yourself and truly getting to know what your heart, your soul, your whole being truly is focused on, truly is immerse yourself in. And by immersing yourself in healthy, uplifting, loving, caring thoughts, the emotions will follow, and you will train your whole being so that your will also will follow after the thoughts and emotions. Hence, you are more and more anchoring yourself within your instrument for perception, your instrument for cognition, your instrument for sensing. And you become the captain of it, you become the leader of it, and not vice versa, where you are following the body, or where you are following your astral, your desires or longings, or where you are following your etheric, where you want to eat all the time. You get my drift here? It is about your ego being the leader here. Not your body, not your life body, and not your astral body. Your ego, working upon all three of them, brings about new faculties, as I have said. Sevenfold. We are now fourfold consciously, but we can become sevenfold towards the future. But it must be cultivated, sat with, nourished, gently, loving, caring. And I pray every day that you find these things yourself, and that I am not your wood, that I am not, you come to me every time you need some upliftment, but I give you the instructions and the firewood and the axe, so you can go cut that firewood yourself and fire up that stove. But you see, it requires work to cut that wood, to put that in the stove, to fire it up and to keep it heating. To keep it heating, you need to go back and hug wood and then come here and then put it into the wood again. And that is I inspire you to do, well, what is right, what you and your soul, your ego, your being is longing for, what you truly wish in life, and not putting that on the back burner, to not, but it this and that and that. It is about truly taking the chance, taking the risk of wanting to cultivate your being and become closer to what a human being is supposed to aspire to. A spiritually divine, fully pervaded by love and understanding and care. So, yeah, I think this was everything. Thank you all. I love you. You are an amazing, unique human being. No one is like you on this planet. You are the only one that is you here. Isn't that amazing? No matter how many of the billion people you look through, even if you try to visualize everyone individually, you would never find you other than you. No one is like you. That is what you should follow, but not in an egotistical and narcissistic sense, as a guide and a help and an example, so others can do the same. It is about including everything, everyone, and not you being the only thing here. It is about seeing God in everything around us, seeing Christ in everyone around us. And if we can't see it truly in their actions, in their speech, or in their thoughts, or in their emotions or will, you try to find it anyway. Because they might not know it, but all of a sudden he might come out and speak to you through them without them realizing it. Think about that for a moment. That is why we want to listen. All of a sudden he says something profound to you without we batting an eye at the moment. But it has happened, and it will happen if you truly are open for that experience. Which is why I free speak like I do. Because when I look back on my videos, I see that many times it feels like something is speaking through me. And I know it is so because I cooperate with them in the moment here. They are here with me, speaking through me and giving me pictures, concepts, and different, sentences and everything. It's not that they say this sentence, say this. It's more like they feed me down a stream of concepts and creativity in a sense. And of course they give me an eloquence that is a bit above what I normally do in everyday life. Because I take this sincerely. I want to do this work justice, truly. So, yeah, I think this was everything. I love you. Thank you for you being you. May Father, the Holy Spirit, Christ, the hierarchy, ancestors, and all ancient masters of old, 7 planetary archangels, Yahweh, and the other 6 Elohim, and as many others I can include, guide, protect, and help you awaken to the divine love that truly can be awakened within a human being. Love you. Goodbye.